Prince William, born to be king.
He often used to say to his mother that he didn't really want to be king.
His childhood was a mixture of enormous luxury and privilege and disaster.
Kate Middleton, a middle-class home counties upbringing.
Probably received some rather standoffish or condescending views towards her because she wasn't an aristocrat, unlike Diana or even Sarah Ferguson.
This is the remarkable story of a prince.
William was allowed the luxury of a gap year. His father, the Prince of Wales, was determined that he needed to be educational. He was not just going to be allowed to go and spend a year playing polo in Argentina.
Once William and Kate had married, it sort of sealed the future, as it were. William will become the king, Kate will become the queen consort. So it gives us a chance to look into the future, and when we look, we see something which is young and fairly modern, and something that makes people feel optimistic.
While Prince George's birth may have been in keeping with tradition, it was a milestone in modernising the royal family. Before he was born, the law of succession to the throne was updated for the 21st century.
It was exciting to see the changes in the laws of succession that determined that if William and Kate welcomed a girl first, that girl would retain her place in the line of succession versus being stepped over by a younger born brother. That was all very exciting. Of course, those changes became inconsequential temporarily because a boy was born first. But Charlotte maintains her place in the line of succession, even with the birth of a younger born brother. So that's an exciting thing to have come about in light of William and Kate expanding their families.
They wanted, as I understand it, to be much more hands-on parents, and suddenly they have this massive workload which they weren't anticipating.
Tatler say they stand by Anna's reporting. But Kensington Palace also denied the claim that Kate disliked Meghan's wedding plan for her bridal party not to wear stockings, as it would be a breach of protocol, and the Cambridges honour royal conventions.
We've really seen them take on a very traditional royal role. William and Kate have really embraced that.
Megxit wasn't the only crisis that's engulfed the royal family that William and Kate have had to deal with. In November 2019, Prince Andrew was forced to retire from public life. Senior royals, including Prince William, were said to be horrified by the comments he made in a TV interview, trying to defend his friendship with a convicted paedophile, Jeffrey Epstein.
But you were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
Pretty much everyone told Andrew it was a great mistake to give an interview to explain a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. You can't control it. And Andrew, he's no genius. So he said some very silly things in the interview, and they would have horrified William.
And we understand that it was William who was very much of the view that Prince Andrew could not continue to have a public role.
I think that was very significant, not only that we were being leaked that information, but that William was involved at the very highest level. It's really the first time we've seen that.
Removing Prince Andrew and the Sussexes from royal life, pending on the Queen's ability to continue working in her mid-90s, the plan could leave a public-facing monarchy of just 4: the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
How do 4 people oversee the Commonwealth? How do 4 people do all the ceremonial occasions, all the official engagements, oversee all the charities that they do?
William has a great sense that he has inherited something which is important, and he needs to step up to the mark, even if it becomes his whole life.
Megxit and Prince Andrew's departure have shown how Prince William places duty over close family relationships. But the coronavirus pandemic of 2020 would pitch the Cambridges into their greatest challenge yet.
Something as terrible as this awful pandemic has actually given William and Kate a chance to shine.
William and Kate and the other Windsors must have been hoping to resume their royal duties, albeit with a busier diary than usual. But it wasn't to be.
A big jump in coronavirus cases and the first death here in Britain. The pressure ramps up.
While politicians and scientists look for strategies to protect the public and the death toll rose into the thousands, the British public looked to the royal family. The Windsors, and especially
The Queen has been outstanding and has given a series of public broadcasts which have done an awful lot to reassure the population, I think. But beyond the Queen, it has been very much William and Kate who've come to the fore.
The Queen is effectively in confinement at Windsor Castle. Charles tested positive for the virus. So William and Kate are really picking.
They've revealed things about themselves that will always be remembered, that during the pandemic they were there.
When the nation went into lockdown on the 23rd of March, the Cambridges
hoping to found a couple of new charities.
You know, what we're seeing now is the NHS and the frontline workers doing the most extraordinary job, and that's really come to the forefront in the last a few weeks, and I think it's going to dramatically change how we all value and see our frontline workers.
William and Kate have isolated themselves with their children in Norfolk, where they have joined in the weekly applause for NHS carers. And in a callback to William's former career as an air ambulance pilot, they've offered their London home as a refuelling post for emergency flights.
William was given permission for helicopters to land in the grounds of Kensington Palace, which is remarkable. That would never have happened in the past. The royals who lived there, even during the war, were a bit sniffy about people growing cabbages nearby.
They haven't patronised us, but they're one of us. I've admired them more than I do for how they've coped during the pandemic.
Throughout his life, Prince William has made choices that have stepped away from the royal standard.
I don't like being treated any different at all. I don't like special treatment at all.
He took a gap year volunteering for charity and chose a wife from a non-aristocratic background. Should we expect the Cambridges to break even?
Doesn't believe in breaking the rules. She does not want Charles to step aside when she passes. William doesn't want that to happen.
There are a lot of people who want to skip Charles and go straight to William. It would be shocking to skip Prince Charles. I think that's more driven by William's youth.
Hello, everybody.
He will think that they will have a warmer feeling, a warmer approach to the British public.
Very happy birthday on Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's Day. From everything we've seen to date with William and Kate, I think that they're going to demonstrate a monarchy that is caring and compassionate. And I do think that they show the sort of approachability and relatability that will safely sustain the monarchy into the late 21st century.